Hey, I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on how I'm going to be carrying my food on the Appalachian Trail through hike in the spring of 2024. So there's 3 different ways that you can carry your food as you're doing the hike. And so most of the time, from the research I've done, you're going to be carrying your food between 3 and 5 days before you resupply and fill your bag back up with more food. So there's a bear canister, which is a bear vault, and those usually weigh around 3 pounds. They're a hard plastic and it's kind of heavy, and I'm trying to keep my pack as light as I can and still be reasonable with the way that I'm going to carry my food. So that to me is not an option for me. So then it comes down to an URSACK, which is 8.8 ounces, and it looks like this. It's made of a Kevlar, which is bear proof as far as bear resistant. They're not going to tear into it, and it's got a odor proof bag that goes inside of it. And so with this one, you do not have to do a bear hang. You just attach it to a secure stationary item, which would probably be the trunk of a small tree or something like that. And so this is kind of what I'm leaning for, and I'll explain to you guys why in a second. But then the third option is just a food bag, and I have a Dyneema bag that I used when I did the Foothills Trail last July, but I did a terrible job, and so that one is the lightest. You also put an odor-proof bag inside of that. So the reason why I'm leaning towards the URSACK is because last year when I did the Foothills Trail, which is the first trail I've done that didn't have bear cables, I had to throw my bear line, which I was terrible at. The weather, it rained every single day, and so some of the time when I was setting up camp, I was lucky most of the time. The weather it didn't rain while I was setting up camp and stuff, but it did make me think about, what if I go into camp and it's pouring out rain, and I've got to set up my, bear hang. I've got to find the tree that's going to fit the specs that I need. So when I hung up my bear line on the Foothills Trail the first night, I did a terrible job. It took me forever to hang my line. It was getting dark. I was tired. It was starting to rain, and I couldn't find the tree. I looked around all over the place for a tree that would work for the specs that I'm supposed to have. And so I threw the line, put my food bag up there. It wasn't high enough. It wasn't far enough away from the trunk because the limbs weren't strong enough to go that far away from the trunk. And so the next morning when I got it down, the line got stuck, so I had to cut my line. And then the next night that I had to hang my next bear line, I looked all around for probably a good 30 minutes to find a tree. Couldn't find one. Finally just got fed up and used whatever tree limb I could find, but it wasn't the right height. It wasn't the right distance away from the tree, and I could even tickle the bottom of the bag with my fingertips. So I don't know how good that's really going to do in a situation when a bear wants to get the food. He's going to be able to get it. So so I did that, and it just made me think, if I'm on the Appalachian Trail and it's cold and it's rainy and I can't find a tree, I don't want to just say, forget it, I'm just not going to hang my bear bag, because I don't want to be irresponsible. So the next option is to have an URSACK, which allows me to put all my stuff in and be in a position where the bears can't get the food and still have it secured in a way that is approved, like an approved way of taking care of my food bag. So that's kind of where I'm leaning, but I'm going to do some hikes between now and when I hit the Appalachian Trail for the thru hike in the spring, and I'm going to try this out. I just got it last week, so I want to give it a shot and experiment with it a little bit, learn a little bit more, and get a little bit more confident in taking my food carries this way. So, but if any of you guys are experienced backpackers and have experience with either an URSACK or your food hang and have any words of wisdom and some advice, I would be more than happy to hear what you have to say. So if you want, you can leave a comment. I'm gonna start sharing just little things, my shoes, my tent, things like that, and just get a little bit more comfortable talking to the camera because I want to vlog as I'm doing my hike in the spring. And so yeah, so if you haven't been here before, my name is Carrie. I'm a retired teacher of 40 years, and I am going to be knocking a big thing off my bucket list next spring when I hit the Appalachian Trail for my thru hike. Hopefully it'll help me get deprogrammed and decompress a little bit from 40 years of teaching and coaching. So take care, peace out, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.